Hi everybody, I'm delighted to be presenting at this event and really pleased to welcome representatives from all the different countries that are participating in this event, including Thailand, Myanmar, Hong Kong, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, South Korea, Vietnam, and of course my home country, Australia. Really looking forward today to sharing what the state has to offer to you, and with a particular focus on a couple of key areas, including tourism development, gaming and the creative industries. So I better start by letting you know what's different about Tasmania and why should you be interested. What are our competitive advantages? Well, firstly, we're one of the few places in the world to have 100% renewable energy. And that really sets us apart from other places, particularly because the majority of that renewable energy is hydropower. And so it's dispatchable and it's consistent energy, reliable energy for your investments, for your activities. And Tasmania has a globally recognised brand, a premium brand recognised across the world for premium produce. We're also open for investment. We've got a long, proud history of foreign investment in the state, and we continue to be an attractive place for companies all across the world to invest in here and to provide a launch pad for the region. And we can demonstrate that by leading companies that have been here for a long time and other companies, leading international companies that are investing now and looking at projects to come into the state. So we've got a strong record of success. We've demonstrated that for our exporting across the world with success in products and services and continuing to perform well above the size of our state. And we also have great capability that's been recognised across the world in different forums, in different venues and in different assessments. So let me tell you just a little bit more about Tasmania in case you haven't had the opportunity to come and visit us yet. It's Australia's island state, a population of about 540,000 people, and it's around about the same size as Sri Lanka or the Republic of Ireland or Hokkaido in Japan. We have something that we're very proud of indeed, is the cleanest air on the planet. I've talked before about our renewable energy advantage, and we also have around half of our island is devoted to the pristine natural environment in national parks, World Heritage areas and other reserves. And we have this outstanding dramatic coastlines, rugged mountains, spectacular wilderness, as well as other parts of the state that are really productive land for agriculture and exciting, vibrant communities to live in as well. We have 4 distinct seasons, and so you can experience all of those benefits in Tasmania. We've got unpolluted coastal seas and really rich, fertile soils, reliable rainfall, and freedom from most natural disasters. One of the things that I think is probably most distinctive about Tasmania, I said we're quite small geographically. We represent about 1% of Australia's landmass, and yet we have almost 27% of Australia's freshwater reserves. And we'll talk a little bit more about how that provides an advantage in agriculture through our investment in irrigation later on. So my presentation today will cover a couple of things. The first thing I want to talk about is our office and how we can help you establish your business in the state. I'll touch a little bit about the Tasmanian economy to give you just a little bit more insight into our state, and then talk about why we think you should be investing here. And my presentation will cover a focus on a couple of different industries where the state has enviable strengths. There, of course, is a whole lot more, and we'd be delighted to talk to you about that as well. And so we'll cover today agricultural, gaming and tourism specifically. But before I go into that, I wanted to share a short video to cover key aspects of investing in Tasmania.
Customers are increasingly looking for authenticity and the stories behind the labels, and Tasmania has some great stories to tell. Smart investors are taking advantage of Tasmania's brand, which has become synonymous with its individuality, pristine environment, creativity, island location and cool climate. When you invest in Tasmania, you can be confident in a brand that has attained a global reputation for premium quality. As well as having an ideal climate for farming and reputation for world-class products, Tasmania is blessed with natural resources that have employed generations of families. Tasmania's location in the Southern Hemisphere means that producers have many counter-seasonal export opportunities. Tasmania is close to major markets and our products are exported internationally, forming part of a global supply chain. Our exports are supported by modern road, rail, port and air infrastructure combined with efficient freight and logistics capabilities. Strategic investment in digital infrastructure has seen opportunities emerge in the new economy and growth in the local ICT sector. With a strong focus on sustainability, a cool climate and an abundance of renewable energy, Tasmania is an ideal location for large-scale server infrastructure. Success in the ICT sector is increasingly linked to a balance of technology, creativity and lifestyle. In a connected world, businesses and individuals are choosing Tasmania as a location to capture this balance. Just as Tasmania's natural beauty, creative culture and livability is bringing scores of new visitors to Tasmania, it is also enticing many others to invest. 2 years in a row, Tasmania has won more national tourism awards than any other state. That's with just over 2% of Australia's population and less than 1% of Australia's landmass. On the back of multiple national and international awards, significant year-on-year increases in visitor numbers are driving tourism investment. A range of new projects are emerging, from niche boutique and environmental experiences to large-scale hotel developments. Those who invest in Tasmania invest with confidence. Confidence in a brand with a global recognition for premium quality and a lifestyle and environment that attracts record numbers of visitors each year. Confidence in generations of experience and ingenuity, cutting-edge technology and infrastructure, and the capacity to produce on a large scale. Doing business in Tasmania gives you a competitive edge in a world where customers look for authenticity and stories behind the labels.
So let me tell you a little bit about our Office of the Coordinator General. Our responsibility is really threefold. The first thing is investment attraction, and so we act as a primary point of access for businesses that are looking to invest in Tasmania. We also help facilitate projects and to take and shepherd projects through to make sure that they have the smoothest possible process throughout. And a third and related area is we tackle the business environment and make sure that it's the simplest and easiest process. So making business easier by tackling and reducing red tape. I want to talk to you a little bit about, to give you just an idea around the Tasmanian economy so you can see why it's a good supportive place to invest. Tasmania for the last 8 quarters has been the leading state in Australia in terms of economic performance. It's been number 1. It has a range of attributes. It's a very diverse economy, but it's also been very strong. And the last few years have been well above the decade-long average in relation to performance. We've seen our export growth very significantly increase. Business investment is at all-time highs. The economic growth of the state has been significant. And we're getting great accolades from all sorts of economic reviews and reports. We see we've got the strongest business confidence in the nation regularly, and all the scorecards are showing that Tasmania is really on the right trajectory. So why should you consider Tasmania? What are the key attributes that make it a great place to invest? I think one of the things that's really important is that the Tasmanian brand is admired worldwide as being synonymous with excellence, purity and sustainability. I talked before about our renewable energy, talked before about our clean air and water, and those things, particularly in the agricultural and food space, but really across the board, are providing a great brand platform for Tasmania. And we're also leading the world in many respects. And I said before, one of the things that obviously in the last few years has become really significant is renewable energy. And Tasmania already has 100% of our electricity is provided from renewable resources. And that's something that's really great for businesses as a hedge against what might happen into the future, but also as a brand recognition and brand association aspect. One of the things that we think is also significant is this huge potential for energy expansion. We have some of the best and most consistent and reliable wind in the world to see our augmentation of our electricity generation into the future. Tasmania's also got great modern infrastructure. It's a relatively small state and easy to access, well serviced in terms of access. And one of the most outstanding aspects is we've got a skilled and adaptable labour force. That's one of the features of island economies and certainly something that we can lay claim to. But linked with that is that our labour force is also loyal, consistent, well-educated, well-skilled, and amongst Australia, we have the lowest disputation, best industrial relations record across the whole of Australia. So there's a supportive business environment, a long history of working with foreign investment from across the world, an internationally recognised brand, and a can-do attitude that was keen to support your investment in the state. And probably another aspect that is relevant for your consideration is that it's a diverse economy. While it's a small economy, it's a diverse economy which services the rest of Australia and indeed other parts of Asia. So roughly in any sector, 70 to 80% of what we produce is actually for export, either to mainland Australia or to overseas. We've touched a little on the renewable energy advantage, and I think it's really important to emphasise. We've got consistent, reliable power, as I said before, from hydroelectric generation, which means that it's reliable for all sorts of industrial activity, consistent, and also with huge potential for growth. We have some of the cheapest energy in Australia as a consequence, and that's only going to continue into the future because of our renewable advantages. And that creates some great marketing advantages for your business and your focus for your consumers. And we're already seeing that for existing Tasmanian businesses are really getting an advantage because of that brand and because of the recognition of our place-based brand. So let's talk a little bit about our key industries. We'll touch on three in particular in this presentation, but our team is available to talk to you about all sectors of the economy. And as I said before, we've got a diverse and exciting economy, and so we'll be delighted to welcome your investment in any of those. But the specific focus that I'll touch on today is around agribusiness and food processing, which, as you know, links very well with our brand. We'll also talk about tourism and gaming and creative industries. So let's start with agriculture and food. Tasmania's brand is becoming famous for its premium gourmet products, and it's winning international acclaim across the board, from wine to food to meat to products, and all sorts of value-add products that are winning successfully all sorts of accolades across the world. So in the agricultural sector, Tasmania is becoming famous for its gourmet foods and premium wines. It's won international acclaim and many awards, and it continues to grow and expand both in acclaim and in production. Our aquaculture sectors are among the state's most prominent and successful, and indeed we represent a very large proportion of Australia's production of aquaculture. We have a really diversified agricultural sector, and this ranges from livestock, beef, dairy, lamb, pork, wool products. Our seafood, as we've talked about before, specifically aquaculture and Atlantic salmon, but ocean trout, abalone, mussels, oysters, rock lobster, and fruit. We've got a growing industry in stone fruits, berries, apples, and others. All of this fantastic produce also supports a really strong processing sector, which produces cheese, butter, milk, and various other high value dairy products, and outstanding wine, beer, cider, all sorts of fermented products and processed foods. And why is it that Tasmania offers these competitive advantages? It's really one of the core aspects is a temperate climate, rich soils, great rainfall, reliable clean air, fertile soils to support a diverse range of products. The past decade has seen significant investment by the Tasmanian and Australian governments in partnership with farmers into irrigation schemes. This is providing, even though we have reliable rainfall, it's providing really substantial water surety and ensuring that all of our fertile soils are able to produce the most productive outcomes. And this is continuing. This investment is continuing and has seen huge value increases in production for our Tasmanian farmers and unlocking opportunities in parts of the state that really were not available previously in relation to dairy and wine, fruit and vegetables. The temperate climate, the surety of water, strong and proven trade relations, a great access to those markets, a range of free trade agreements into our closest partners who are really keen to benefit from our premium products, and a lower risk of extreme weather events like heat waves and hailstorms that really affect other agricultural regions, provide this great platform for investment into agribusiness. And we see that as a huge growth area for not only production and increased production of agricultural products, but also the value add of food production and processing that's already a significant part of the Tasmanian economy. Tasmania advantages have already attracted a range of international operators. We've got leading international companies like Fonterra, Saputo, Dutch Mill and Mondelez already calling Tasmania home and producing outstanding products for the world. We see great production in frozen vegetable processing and some of the world's leaders there as well as beer, wine and whiskey, really providing a great platform for international companies who've been investing for a long time, and their continued investment demonstrates the success of establishing operations in Tasmania. Part of the theme of my presentation has really been infrastructure and reliable infrastructure in an outstanding location. And that's also the case for the ICT sector. And this provides a great platform for the gig economy that is growing in Tasmania. And I'll talk a little bit about gaming in particular, but it really applies across the ICT sector generally. Tasmania was the first location in Australia to receive the National Broadband Network and can offer up to gigabit connection speeds, providing reliable high-speed broadband through the use of three technologies: optic fibre, fixed wireless and next generation satellite. But perhaps most importantly is the extensive rollout of fibre to the premise that is providing such a substantial advantage in Tasmania for heavy bandwidth requiring industries. And one of those is clearly gaming. But Tasmania has also fostered a collaborative developers community, such as TasICT, which provides the professional development for the community and offers a whole range of different components for that membership community. And one of the key stakeholders are the Tasmanian game makers. And it's really developed an ecosystem partly because of our university and their big focus in relation to gaming and creative technologies, where they produce a number of high quality graduates every year. These are providing great opportunity for companies looking for talent, and the increasing focus on a stretched talent market means that Tasmania is a great place to establish a gaming business. And the Tasmanian government, through our organisation Screen Tasmania, is committed to supporting the Tasmanian multimedia industries and provides support through a range of different grant programs to support businesses. So there are a range of exciting digital games makers in Tasmania. Tasmania has a vibrant ecosystem, lots of opportunities for networking, a great pipeline for talent, and a range of other complementary services, including the Human Interface Technology Lab at the University of Tasmania, as well as a really exciting future with companies investing and growing in the state. Another area that I wanted to focus on today is tourism. And Tasmania has a bold strategy to be a world-leading destination of choice. And it's already demonstrating that with such a high aspiration by visitors to come to the state. One of the interesting things that we've seen, I've provided on the presentation a range of statistics of the performance in the tourism sector prior to COVID, and obviously COVID has had an impact on tourism. But one of the things that we've been really excited about is the resilience of tourism sector throughout COVID, and Tasmania has seen increasing focus, increasing interest, and a high aspiration for visitors wanting to come to see what Tasmania has to offer. And this provides a number of opportunities as well as a very resilient sector. Tasmania is predominantly a domestic tourism market, particularly since COVID, but it also saw one of the greatest levels of growth for international tourists in the lead up to COVID, which provides that greater level of resilience for tourism investment going into the future. There's some outstanding iconic attractions to build upon that are really the halo effects that bring people to Tasmania, such as the Tasmanian Wilderness World Heritage Area, Cradle Mountain, the Three Capes Track, Freycinet Peninsula, and other World Heritage listed areas such as Port Arthur. And of course, we can't forget Mona, the famous museum of old and new art. To ensure that people have a fantastic experience while they are here, and increasingly to bring them specifically for a visit, are the incredible gastronomic experiences from high-end bars and restaurants and sampling all the fantastic produce that we've talked about before, the boutique breweries and the distilleries, through to roadside stalls. Tasmania is a compact self-drive journey offering with incredible scenery through mountains to rainforests, sweeping coastal views, incredible historic towns, farm gates, cellar doors, and wonderful distilleries. There's also a really vibrant art scene that's attracting national and international festivals, lots and lots of exhibitions and exciting events, and a calendar full of cultural festivals, excellent world-class sporting events, and country fairs and farmers markets. As in other areas, Tasmania has also won lots of recognition, significant awards, well beyond the size of the state. We talk about fair share and exceeding our fair share, and this is certainly the case in terms of accolades and awards in the tourism sector. We've listed a couple here, but we could have multiple slides to talk you through some of those outstanding achievements. And so it's a really exciting and supportive environment for investors. We're seeing great innovative product, and consumers like it and they're coming back. Indeed, we have some of the highest return visitation numbers of anywhere in Australia. Recently, Launceston was designated a UNESCO City of Gastronomy, and this really underscores that fantastic and artisan food and beverage production that we've talked about before. But don't take my word for it. I'd rather let you hear from an investor who'll tell you why he chooses to invest in this state.
I'd led a fairly full life running an airline, starting an airline in 2000, and really wanted to see change. So I trekked pretty much all over the world, came back to Australia, and someone said, "You've got to try the overland track in the northwest of Tasmania." So I did. Fell in love with it so much, bought the company. We've doubled the size of the company in 2 years, and we see plenty of opportunities to come. There is a progressive nature here. There is an opportunity to unlock value in our national parks and wilderness areas, but there's an intense environmental focus to ensure that it's done in a safe and sustainable manner. Tasmania is the environmental capital of this country, and I think over time will be in this region and has the potential to even go further. I'm really excited about what the future holds, not just for my area, which is environmental tourism, but for restaurateurs, for hotels, and other people who are interested in investing in this really progressive state. I think there's a vibrancy here and a growing sophistication that just is so exciting that my next investment is more than likely to be here also.
So hopefully that's been a useful snapshot to explain some of the things that Tasmania has to offer, but there's so much more, and we'd really love to speak to you more about that. So please come and visit our booth for more information, chat with my team, give us a call, send us an email. We'd love to engage with you. We talked a little bit before about some of the things that Tasmania offers. We talked about its premium brand recognition. It is politically and economically stable. It's been performing very significantly, as we also explained earlier. We've got a great labour force that's really keen to work in new and exciting areas and is demonstrating the resilience and adaptability that you would be looking for. And it's a diverse economy, resilient industries with modern infrastructure that's welcoming for foreign investment. So please talk to us some more. We'd love to hear what you're looking at and how we can help you.